Hello, good evening, everyone. We we were to discuss certain questions in algebra. Um, so we were discussing the word problems. We'll discuss those questions and then we'll start with the algebra review. Okay. So can anyone tell me where we had stopped last time?
So we stopped at functions.
We stopped at functions. Um, Right. So we have to do 5 questions of
From 31, we have to do so.
31. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So I gave this as homework, and the people who answered, like, gave me the solutions were I think it was Pratisha, Venkatesh, and also yeah. I think anyone else that I missed apart from Pratisha and Venkatesh, who sent me the answers for the questions. Anyway, so starting with this question, it is given that x square equals to x plus 1, then x cube equals to what? Then x cube can be written as x square into x. This here can be written as x plus 1, and then multiplied with x. This becomes x square again and plus 1. For x square, we know it is x plus 1, so x plus 1 again, plus x, sorry, x square, x plus 1 and plus x becomes 2x plus 1. So the answer is C, 2x plus 1. Next is if n is an integer, f for f of n equals to f of n minus 1 minus n, then what is the value of this given that f of 4 equals to 10? You can basically substitute 6 here. This gives us f of 5 minus 5, and f of 5 will be equal to,
So it will be f of 5 minus 6.
sorry, oh right, yes, minus 6. F of 4 minus 5, so f of 4 is 10. 10 minus 5 would be 5. You can substitute this value here. This becomes 5 minus 6 or 1, minus 1. So minus 1 would be the answer. Next question we have: for all positive integers m and n, the expression m triangle n represents the remainder when m plus n is divided by m minus n. So basically, if let's say m triangle n is given to you, it means that m plus n over m minus n, whatever would be the remainder of this expression would be the answer for m triangle n. So 19 triangle 9 is 19 plus 9 over 19 minus 9, which is 28 over 10, and the remainder would be 8. So this here is 8, and 8 triangle 2 becomes 10 over 6, which is 4. So the answer for this expression becomes 4 here. Now, 9 triangle 2 is 11 over 7, where 4 is the remainder, and 19 triangle 4 is 23 over 15, where 8 is the remainder. So 8 triangle 4. Now 8 triangle 4 is 12 over 4. Wait a second. I think there has been a problem. 19.
It's 19 triangle 4, sir.
Okay. Right. It is 19 triangle 4. So becomes 19 triangle 4 becomes 23 over 15, which is 8. So 8 would be here. The answer for this expression would be 8. So 4 minus 8 is 4 minus 4. So that would be the answer. When x is even, x function of x equals to x by 2 plus 1. And when x is odd, 2x plus 1, right? So what is the value for this? Now the thing is, 7 is odd, so it falls here. This becomes 7 x. I mean, 7 would be. Oh, sorry, it's odd, right? So it will fall here. So 2 times 7 plus 1 will give us 15. So this here would be 15. And this here is 4, so it will be x by 2 plus 1, or 4 by 2 plus 1, which is 3. So 15 times 3 is 45. Now remember, now the thing is, what is important here is that 45 is the answer without the function. It is not in brackets. Okay. So there might be a value of x which would give us 45 as the answer, and that is what the question is asking. Had it been, the answer would have been without the brackets, then that would have meant without the function, and then 45 would have been the correct answer. However, the answers here are a function itself. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to find the number. We have to find the value of x in a way which would give us 45 as the answer. So there are two possibilities. Either an even number can give 45, or an odd number can also give 45. Okay. So if it is an even number, then the result would be x by 2 equals 44, or x equals to 88. Okay. So 88 here would give us 45 as the value. Okay, let's check here. So it is 2x equals to 44 and x equals to 22. Now, if let's say we put 22 here, but this wouldn't necessarily follow. Why? Because then the value of x has to be odd, and here it is giving us even. So this cannot be the answer. So the answer would be D, bracket 88. Anyone who has not understood this question? Okay. Next, for which of the following functions does f of minus x equals minus f of x for all real numbers the value of x? What you can basically do is you can put the values here. I mean, this is a hidden trial method, but for first time try this one. And why? Because both of the powers are even here, and here both of the powers are odd. So try for this. Okay. So this gives us f of minus 8 x to the power 8 plus x to the power 4, and here it would be minus f of x to the power 8 minus x to the power 4. Okay, which would be at the end. This answer would become minus x8 plus x4 x to the power 4, and this would not be equal to this. Okay, does that make sense for everyone? like here x to the power, like if we put the value of x as x to the power 8 and minus x to the power 4, what happens is this function will give us the answer as minus x8 and plus x4. However, this function will give us the if we put minus here, this becomes minus x8 and plus x4. And if we are putting this here as the function, this becomes f of x to the power 8 minus x to the power 4. So these two will not be equal because this is like here the answer is in reverse, and I mean the signs are in reverse here and the signs here are different. Like it is x to the power 8 minus x to the power 4. Is it making sense? Is there anyone who has not particularly understood this particular part?
I
I didn't understand. So
Right. Okay. So wait a second.
So can we substitute some value and check it?
Yeah, we can wait. That is what I'm thinking how to go about. Just a second.
sir, I think we should take f of x is equal to x power 8 minus x power 4. So f of minus x is minus x whole power 8 minus of minus x whole power 4. So that's
Sorry, can you repeat again?
f of x is equal to x power 8 minus x power 4.
Right.
So f of minus x is in place of x, write minus x.
Right.
So then it makes sense.
Then this would become
Minus x whole power 8 minus of minus x whole power 4. No, sir, you're not writing it right.
Oh, okay, okay. You're saying in this manner, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right, right.
Minus x whole power 4. Minus of minus x whole power 4.
Minus, yeah.
Now it makes
This would anyway become positive.
Yeah.
This would anyway become positive, and this also would become positive. And if we put a minus sign, like since we are computing this for here, so this would become minus 8x and plus x power 4. So this is how it will not. Wait, instead of x, let's compute with 2 first. So if let's say, but the thing is that wouldn't give us the value. Like f of x would be, if let's say it is, if you're taking the value of x as 2, it becomes 2, and then if we put a minus sign, this is minus 2. And if you're putting minus 2 here, then
sir, option A is even function, sir. So it's not equal to minus f of x.
yeah, it is not equal to, yeah.
So we should look for odd functions in this case. So I think the best option is to go for like option D or option E.
Option. So the thing is, in this, what will happen is since both of the powers are even, this will be different from this. If you put like these values, like yeah, the answer would be E. But how to explain it better is like if let's say you're taking the value of x, like if you're computing minus x, this becomes minus x to the power 8, and here it will become minus x to the power 4. So this would anyway be at the end x to the power 8 and x to the power 4. Here, however, it will be minus x to the power 8 and plus x to the power 4. Yes, so same thing will happen here as well, because both of these are even powers. So ultimately the sign would be in reverse for both of the results. When we come to this x to the power 5 over x to the power 7, this can be written as 1 over x to the power 2. So ultimately again even power. So for here it will become 1 upon x square, and for here it will become minus 1 upon x square. So again this would not be the same. When you the only remain, like if you check for this, you can conclude for this as well and this as well that these three options will not be valid. When you come here, so this is minus x to the power 9 and then what you can do here is you can write it as minus x and then times minus x to the power 8, and for this here you can write as minus x times x minus x to the power 4 and plus 1, right? So this here would become positive and this also would become positive. So it will give us minus x times x to the power 8 over minus x to the times x to the power 4 and plus 1 separately. The thing is, you can take out minus a sign here as common. So this would become as ultimately like minus and minus sign would get cancelled. This would become as x to the power 9 over x to the power 5 minus 1. Because if you take minus sign as common here, this becomes like this. Okay. And minus sign would get cancelled, and then you can conclude that this would be the answer. However, when you put the same value here, so it would be x minus x, again same thing, minus x into x to the power 8 over wait a second, it is this would come as x to the power 9 over x to the power 5 and then plus 1. Since it is minus, what we'll do is we'll just put a minus sign here. So again, these two are not equal, and the only option remaining would be this. What we can also, what Venkatesh also said in the chat is, we can see by even and odd powers. Since both of the powers are even here and here both of the powers are even, these will not have equal values. The one power needs to be odd and the other needs to be even. Okay, so here it will become 1 over x square. Okay, again, since here it is two odd powers, one would be negative, the other would be negative as well, so it will give us different answers. This is the only viable option.
Sir, but that argument is not valid all the time, because in the numerator there is no constant term, luckily. So since that becomes negative, the whole term becomes negative. Whereas if the power of denominator was odd and numerator was even, it would be neither odd nor even function. So you have to check it properly.
We can let's try that as well then. For this it will be
even nor odd. Yeah.
Sorry.
The function will become neither even nor odd.
Yeah, we'll try for that as well. I didn't check it for that, so let's try. So this becomes x to the minus x to the power 5 and x to the power 2 plus 1. So this will become x square over x to the power 5. Sorry, minus x to the power 5. Wait a second. For this here, it would be like, if let's say we are taking minus x, so minus x square over minus x to the power 5 and then plus 1, and for here it would become x square over x to the power 5 plus 1, and since there is a minus here, there will be minus here. So this becomes as x square over this can be written as minus x to the power 5
plus 1. So
plus 1. So yeah, makes sense. Okay. We would have to check for individual, like we'll have to do it individually. Like we can, however, conclude for this, if both of them are even both of them are even and both of them are odd, then these three options would not apply. A, B, and C would not apply. Then we'll have to hit and try for D and E. We'll start with the word problems. I'll set up a timer as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so until 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 questions. I'll set a time of 7 minutes. Okay. And after 7 minutes, I will discuss all the 7 questions all together. Or wait, there is 1, 2, 3. 13. Instead, I'll say, okay, that is actually better. I will share a link with you all in the chat where you will be able to like see the questions. Um, Give me 1 second. Okay. So I've shared a link in the chat, which is the link to this particular slide. You will not be able to download or print. However, you will be able to see the questions. So from 36 until 40, I'll give you 7 minutes to solve these questions. And once we are done with 7 minutes, I'll discuss the answers with all of you. Okay. Whatever concepts we have studied until now, those are the only concepts that will be applying there. If there is any problem, then you can like obviously ask me once we are done with the questions. Okay, so I hope everyone has gotten the link. It is in the chat. We'll start with word problems now. So after 7 minutes, you will discuss these questions until 40. From 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Has everyone done the questions? Or are you all still solving? I'll give 5
But till 29th, 39th we have to do.
until 40.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll discuss the questions now until 40. So first of all, first question here, 8 years ago, George was half as old as Sarah. So there is Sarah, there is George. Sarah is now 20 years older than George. So like present, if we talk about Sarah is 20 years older than George. So if let's say we take the value of George as the age of George as X, Sarah is 20 plus X or X plus 20, however you want to put it. Now, 8 years ago, George would have been X minus, I think, yes. Right. So 8 years ago, George would have been X minus 8 age, and Sarah would have been X plus 12. You can subtract 8 from X plus 20, and it will give you X plus 12. And it says that George was half as old as Sarah. So if you multiply 2 here, the ages become equal. So X plus 12 is equal to 2X minus 16, where X is equals to 28. So George is 28 right now, and 10 years later, George will be 38 years old. So that here is the answer. Next question we have, a father's age was 3 times that of his son 5 years ago. So there is father, there is son. We do not know the father, we do not know the present ages of both. While 5 years hence, the father will be twice as old as his son. So if you take present age of son as x, so 5 years ago it would have been 3 times of the son. So 5 years ago it will be x minus 5, and father's age would be 3 times of x minus 5. Okay. And here it says that 5 years hence, like 5 years later from present, the age of son would be x plus 5. The age of son would be x plus 5, and it says that father's age would be twice as old as son, so it becomes 2x, 2 times of x plus 5. The thing is, there is no correlation, there is no relation given here, there is no relation given here, but what we can say is that since from present it was 5 years ago and this is 5 years later, so the difference between the 5 years later age and the 5 years ago age would be 10 years basically, right? The difference between these two ages is 10 years. So 2x plus 10 minus 3x plus 15 equals to 10, and then would get cancelled. Minus 3x, so minus 3x is equals to, sorry, minus x is equals to minus 15, or x equals to 15 basically. There is only one option which has 15 as the option, so that would be the answer. Okay, you're not, if let's say there would have been any other option where 15 would have been the age of sun, what you could have done is you could have substituted this particular value in either here or here, wherever you would have wanted, and then you could have taken out the answer for father and son. Next, Timothy leaves home for school, riding his bicycle at a rate of 9 miles per hour. 15 minutes after he leaves, his mother sees Timothy's math homework lying on his bed and immediately leaves home to bring it to him. If his mother drives at 36 miles per hour, how far in terms of miles must she drive before she reaches Timothy? So here what happens is Timothy is here. He has left for his school, riding at a rate of 9 miles per hour. Okay. Then 15 minutes later, the thing is, in this distance, 15 minutes later, Timothy has reached somewhere here. It can be anywhere, he has reached somewhere here, and mother is starting after 15 minutes. Okay, 15 minutes time has elapsed, or basically we can say 1/4 of an hour. Okay, so 1/4 of an hour has elapsed, and it says that mother starts traveling at 36 miles per hour. Now, the question is asking, how far will mother travel to catch up with Timothy? So before taking out how much distance would the mother travel, we first have to take out how much distance she has to cover. Okay, to cover to reach Timothy. So first of all, Timothy's speed was this, and the time he took to cover this distance was 1/4 of an hour. So the distance that Timothy covered was 9/4 hours basically, 9/4 miles. Okay, distance is equals to speed times time. Okay, speed into time basically. So this is the distance that is there between the mother and Timothy when the mother starts 15 minutes later. Now, this is a question about if let's say when there is rate involved, rate of time involved basically, or rate of distance involved, what happens is when two vehicles are traveling in the same direction, okay, towards one particular point. So, and considering that the speed of A is greater than the speed of B, because only then will A be able to catch B, right? Considering this. So this is when both of the vehicles are on road, or if it is a train or something, when the medium itself is not moving. Okay, so whenever two of the vehicles are traveling, or any two objects are traveling towards the same direction, the resultant speeds become the difference of the two. Okay. And if, let's say, they are traveling either in the same direction, either towards each other or away from each other, the resultant speeds become again the addition of it. Okay. Now, since mother is traveling towards the same direction that Timothy is traveling, as much distance, like if let's say she's traveling for 1 hour, for the same 1 hour, Timothy is also traveling, right? So the resultant speed here becomes 36 miles per hour minus 9 miles per hour, which is 27 miles per hour. So the result, this is the speed by which this distance would be covered. Okay. So resultant time taken to cover this would be distance over speed. So here it was 9 by 4, which, and over 27 becomes 9 by 4 times 27, or 1/12 of an hour. Okay, so mother travels total 1/12, or basically 6 minutes of an hour. Okay, sorry, 5 minutes basically. Okay, now for traveling this much, like for if she has traveled for these many hours, her speed of mother is 36 miles per hour, and she's traveling for this much time, which is 1/12. So what you can basically do is, to take out the distance, you can multiply these two, and the distance would come out as 4 miles per hour. Okay. Anyone who has not understood this question?
It's 3 miles, sir.
Sorry?
The distance is 3 miles.
How 3 miles?
36 by 12.
36 what?
36 into 1 by 12.
Right, sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, distance is 3 miles. Right. So 3 miles is a distance that she'll have to cover. Anyone who has any problem in this question? Okay. Then, on a reconnaissance mission, a state-of-art nuclear-powered submarine just traveled 240 miles to reposition itself in the proximity of an air carrier. This journey would have taken 1 hour less if the submarine had traveled 20 miles per hour faster. So there are two scenarios. One is the original, and one is the, if let's say if it would have been traveling faster. Okay, so faster scenario as well. So the distance in both are constant. Like we are traveling 24 miles in both of these scenarios. Now here it says that it would have taken 1 hour less had the speed been 20 miles per hour faster. So if we consider speed here as x, time here becomes 240 over x. Okay, and since the speed here should have been, like, if let's say the speed would have been x plus 20, so time would have become time dash s dash. Time would have become 240 over x plus 20. Okay. Now, if the new time is this, it is given that it would have been 1 hour less than this time. Okay. So this would have been smaller by 1 hour. So 240 over x minus 240 over x plus 20 would have given us the difference of 1 hour. Okay. Now what we can do is we can basically solve this particular equation here, and this would give us the answer. So the equation is 240 over x minus x over 240 over x plus 20, which is equal to 1. So here what we'll do is we'll take out 240 as common, becomes x plus 20 minus x over x square plus 20x. This is basically taking the LCM. X and x gets cancelled here. It becomes x square plus 20x equals to 4800. Now the quadratic equation would become x square plus 20x minus 4800 equals to 0. Now we have to find out the factors of 4800 in such a manner, the difference of which is 20, and one of them has to be negative. So it will be 80 and 60. Okay, so x square plus 80x minus 60x minus 4800 is equal to 0. So x plus 80 here and minus 60 x plus 80 equals 0. So the factors would be x is equals to either minus 80 or x equals to 60. Now the thing is, speed cannot be negative, so this would not be the answer. X is 60. Now it is asking what was the average speed in miles per hour for the actual journey, so that is 60. Anyone who has not understood this question? Okay. Next question. Two heavily loaded 16-wheeler transport trucks are 770 kilometers apart, sitting at two rest stops on the opposite sides of the same highway. Driver A begins heading down the highway, driving at an average speed of 90 kilometers per hour. Exactly 1 hour later, driver B starts down the highway toward driver A, maintaining an average speed of 80 kilometers per hour. How many kilometers farther than B will A have driven when they meet and pass each other on the highway? Anyone who would like to help me with this question?
Yes, sir, I can.
Yeah. Yes, Pradesha, go ahead.
So A will have covered 90 kilometers in the first 1 hour.
Right.
So the distance left to be covered is 680. And when the two vehicles are coming towards each other, so we add the speeds. The speed is 170 kilometers per hour.
Right.
And the time taken is 4 hours.
Time equals to
680
distance
by
speed. Yeah. Go on.
680 by 170 equals to 4 hours. And therefore A will travel 90 into 4 hours. Plus 190 because it had traveled 190 kilometers in the first hour, so it's total 450 kilometers. And B will travel 80 into 4 equals to 320 kilometers. Therefore the difference is 130.
Okay, great. 450 minus 320 equals 130. Anyone who has not understood this particular question?
So for the 39th question, I had a doubt.
Right. Wait a second, 1 second. Anyone who has not understood this particular question? Okay, yes, Pratyusha.
Sir, I had taken the difference in the distance speeds. So I had calculated by doing 240 by t minus 240 by t plus 1 equals to 20.
So 240, this is for the original.
Yes, sir.
So original distance would have been 240. Original and faster we are talking about. I don't know why. What is this? So distance here is 240 and time here is t.
T. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So speed is equals to 240
240
by.
by t.
Okay. And
And
here
for
distance.
this, t equals to t plus 1.
It would be 1 hour less
Okay, sir.
t minus 1.
Okay, sir. I understood my mistake.
Right? Okay.
Sir, could you please repeat the answer of 36? What I didn't follow.
36 answer only.
Yes, sir. Only the answer.
36 is 38 years.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else who has had any problem until question number 40 has not understood needs me to repeat the question again? Okay. With the same link that I'm giving you, 36. Yes, Ashwin. Do you want me to repeat the 36th question? Okay. So it is given that 8 years ago, George was half as old as Sarah. So let's take George and Sarah. Now the thing is, we do not know the present ages, so we cannot compare. So let's say present ages is X and here it is Y. Okay. So 8 years ago, that will be X minus 8 and Y minus 8. It is given that George was half. This was half of this particular age. So if we multiply 2 here, this becomes equal. Okay. It is given that Sarah is now 20 years older than George. So Y is equal to X plus 20, since George is like 20 years younger than Sarah. So currently, so this is the value for this, the relation between these two variables. Does that make sense until here? Okay. Now, this is the relation given between X and Y. So remember this particular part. Now, first of all, we'll solve this one. So Y minus 8 equals 2X minus 16. Or what we can say is we can transfer 8 here. Y equals to 2X minus 8. And from here, we have taken out that Y is equals to X plus 20. Now, since this is also the value of Y and this is also the value of Y, what we can do is we can just equate both of these. X plus 10 equals 2X minus 8. Okay, so X will come out as 28. If you solve this, it will come out as 28. You transfer 8 here and you transfer X here. So currently, okay, you will. Currently, his age is 28. 10 years later, it will be 38. And also, like, you can solve it with one variable also, depending upon whichever is comfortable for you. Now, same slides, you have 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, and 47. Oh, 48. 8 questions. 8 questions, I think, would not take more than 15. Yeah, okay. I'll give 15 minutes for these questions now. You can use the same link from 41 to 48. So I'll give 15 minutes for these questions to solve. You all can start now. Hello. Have you all solved the questions? Anyone who's still left to do?
Yes, sir. 2 more minutes, please.
Okay, sure, not an issue. Okay. Um, so question number 41. Anyone who would like to explain? The answer is 25 here. We'll discuss how. So in a factory, 9% can assemble 10 TV sets. So 9 people, 10 TV sets, and 20 days of working for 7.5 hours. Okay. The question is asking how long will it take 12 people to assemble 20 TV sets, 20 TV sets, we do not know the days, in 6 hours per day. Okay. Next, it says that it being given that 2 persons in the latter case. So 2 people here, this is case B. Okay, 2 people here work as the same as 3 people in the first case. So A is to B is 3 is to 2, right? So this here, since it is 9 people, this can be written as 6 people from case B, or 6 people who are more efficient. So let's consider, like, if let's say it is people from the case B, then 6 people will make 10 TV sets in 20 days in 7.5 hours, right? Now we just have to change these variables here. So the question was asking if it was 12 people. So if we double the number of people, the time gets into half. If it is 10 TV sets itself, the time becomes half. Okay. Now it is asking 20 TV sets. We have basically doubled the work. So again, 12 people, 20 TV sets. Double the double the work, so double the time, keeping the number of people constant. So 7.5 hours. Now it says that the working hours are supposed to be 6 hours. Okay, so 12 people, 20 TV sets. If let's say it was 1 hour, it would have been 20 times 7.5 20 times 7.5 days. And if it is 6 hours, then over 6 here, this would have been the number of days that would have been taken, right? So this is 1.55 times, and this is 1.54 times. This is 4 times 1. This is 4 times 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. So 25 days for 12 people from the second scenario to make 20 TV sets in 6 working hours. Anyone who has not understood? Okay.
Can you repeat?
Sorry?
Can you repeat once?
Okay. So there are 2 cases given to us. The first case is that people A here, people from the first case, 9 people if we take, they make 10 TV sets. Okay, work here, it is 10 TV sets. And the time that they take is 20 days, and the number of hours that they're working per day is 7.5 hours. Okay. The second scenario is, if let's say 12 people, it is asking how much days it will take for 12 people to make 20 TV sets if working hours were only 6 hours. Okay. And it is also given that in this case, the people are more efficient. How do we know that the people are more efficient? Whatever work was done by 3 people in the first case, it says that given that 2 people in the latter case do as much work as 3 men in the former case. So whatever work 2 people do here is equal to the work that 3 people do here. Does that make sense until here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So what we can do is, instead of 9 people here for 10 TV sets, 20 days and then 7.5 hours. Okay, what we can do, we can remove this line, we can change this 9, since it is the ratio of A is to B is 3:2. We can change this 9 from 9 to 6, because A over B is 3:2 and here the number of people is 9. We can basically change this and take out the value of 3. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So here 6 people from case B make same TV sets in the same time for same number of working hours. Okay. So the question was asking, had there been 12 people? Okay, so we are basically doubling the number of people. So 12 people here would make the same number of TV sets in half the time, right?
Yeah.
And if let's say it is double the work, we have doubled the number of people. We have also doubled the number of work. It will basically become again like 20 over 2 and then again times 2, which is 20.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
So 20 days here when it is 7.5 working hours. Now this was 12 people again from set B. Now it says the working hours supposed to be 6. So if let's say the working hour was 1 per day, then the number of days would have increased by 7.5 times. This is when it is one working hour per day. If it is 6, we can basically divide by 6. So this will go by 1.5 as 5 times, and this will go by 1.5 as 4 times. So this here become 25 days. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Next question. A husband and a wife. A husband and a wife start painting their house. The husband left the painting 5 days before the completion of the work. How many days will it take to complete the work, which the husband alone would have completed in 20 days and 15 days? Wife in 15 days. Anyone who has done this question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Pratisha.
Answer is A.
Okay. Wait a second. I don't think so. How did you solve?
Sir, I have taken the total work as 1, and it is given that the wife completes the total work in 15 days. So, and the husband left 5 days before the completion of the work. So, 1 by 15 into 5 equals to 1/3 work was done in the last 5 days. And when I
1/3 work. Okay, yes, 1/3 of X.
And total work was X, if we consider as X or 1, and the work left is 2/3X.
That was done when the husband was there.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the individual work rates are 1/20 and 1/15.
So together the rate will
They
become
complete in 7/60.
right.
So 7/60 is the work rate and number of days equal.
Right.
7/60 into D equals to 2/3 of the work.
So the number of days would be
40/7.
But it is saying how many days will to complete the work, total the work.
Okay.
There is one more step left to do. You have done until here. Everything is correct. So this is the work rate, and this is the work that is supposed to be done. So 2/3 X over 7/60.
Yes.
So this becomes 1/20, and this goes here, becomes 40x over 7. This is the 40/7 basically. Sorry. This is the number of days that wife and husband together will do. Number of days, right?
We have to add 5 to it.
Yeah, we have to add 5 as well. Correct. That would be 75 over 7. Okay. So basically, it says that husband and wife are painting the house together, but the husband left 5 days before the completion of the work. Okay. The thing is, we are talking in this particular question, we are talking in the past sense where the work has already been done, right? So when it says that the wife, like the husband left 5 days before the completion of work, that means that in those 5 days, the wife was working alone. So let's consider that the total work is X. Okay, this is the work, this is the rate, and this is the person. So wife completes X amount of work alone in 15 days. So this is days. This is time, let's take. Okay. So she completes it alone in 15 days. So her rate would be X over 50. And if husband is working, he completes the same work in 20 days, so that is X over 20. Now together, husband and wife, their rate would be addition. Rates are always additive. Okay, so you can add these and this would come as 7X over 60. Okay, this is the rate of work, husband and wife together, and the number of days that they will take would be 60 by 7. Wait a second. Yeah. Yeah. So this is their rate and this is the time that they would take if they would have completed together. Okay. But it says that the husband left 5 days before, so wife worked for 5 days and her rate of work was X by 15. So basically, she worked X by 15 times 5, which is 1/3 of the work. Okay, the 1/3 of the work wife does alone. Okay, so only 2/3 of the work was done when husband and wife were working together. So work done together was 2 by 3x, and the rate at which that they were working was this. So work rate is equal to work done over time taken. So time would be equal to work over rate. Now this is the work that has to be done. This is the rate that they are working at. So we can basically divide this by this. X and X gets cancelled. 3 times 1, 3 times 20. 20 goes to 2. So 2 times 20 over 7. So this becomes 40 over 7. Okay. Now this is the number of days that they took to work together. And 5 days that the wife took alone. We will basically just add 5 here. This becomes 75 over 7. So option C would be the answer. Okay, next we have 3 cooks. Anyone would like to do this question? This is also a very interesting question.
Is the answer 32 minutes?
30?
Is the answer 32 minutes?
I won't remember, but I think yes, that is the answer. For yes, I think you might have gotten A's time as 4 minutes, right? 20 burgers in 4 minutes, I suppose.
Yes.
20 burgers in 4 minutes. So yeah, 32 minutes. Would you like to explain that?
That sums up the explanation that you did.
Sorry?
20. That's the explanation that you give. 20 burgers in 4 minutes. So 160 by.
But like, how did you reach here? That is, like, how did you reach? How did you find that A takes 4 minutes?
So 20 by 4 is 5. So 160 by 5, 32.
No, before this, how did you reach at the rate of A? Anyway.
Oh, okay.
It says that 3 cooks make 80 burgers. They are known to make 20 pieces every minute together. So let's take the 3 cooks as A, B, and C. So they make 80 burgers. No, make their rate is given. Their rate of work is given. So A, B, and C, their rate of work is 20 pieces per minute. Okay. It says that the first cook began working alone and made 20 pieces, having worked for some time, more than 3 minutes. Now the thing is, sometime more can be 3 minutes, 1 second, 3 minutes, 20 seconds, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. It can also be 1 minute more than 3 minutes. So we do not know. So he, if let's say A took, this is the time here. So if, and work here. Okay. So ABC, if they're making 80 burgers, all the three cooks, if they're making 80 burgers together, they will take 4 minutes in total. Okay. Now, if A is working alone, he takes more than 3 minutes. Since we do not know how many more minutes, we'll take it as X. Okay. And it says that 20 pieces he made. So his rate becomes 20 pieces per X minutes. Then it says that the remaining part of the work was done by second and third cook. So B and plus C did the remaining work. Now out of this, like he made 20 pieces in 20 in X minutes. So that is his rate. The remaining works are work is 60 pieces of burger. Okay, for B and C, and it says that it is not given what time they have taken, but it says that together all three at the end take 8 minutes in total. Okay, so this can be 8 minus X, whatever time A has taken, subtracting that time from 8 minutes would give us the total time taken by B and C together. So they make 60 pieces in 8 by X minutes, and this is their rate. Now, since rates are additive, A plus B plus B and C, right? Whatever their rate has been, this was 20 over X. For A, it was 20 over X. For B and C, it was 60 over 8 minus X. This was their collective like rates separately. Now, collective rate is 20 per minute. So basically 20 pieces, right? So this is equal to 20. Now we can solve this particular equation and take out the value of X first. So first of all, what we can do is we can take 20 common, 1 upon X plus 3 over X, 8 minus X equals to 20. Now 20 and 20 get cancelled here. So this becomes 1. So the equation is 1 over X plus 3 by 8 minus X equals to 1. So 1 over X plus 3 by 8 minus X equals to 1. So 8 minus X plus 3X equals to 8X minus X square. So 8 plus 2X minus 8X plus X square equals to 0. So X square minus 6X plus 8 equals to 0. So 8 and factors would be minus 4X minus 2X and plus 8. So there will be two values where X can be 4 or X can be 8. Now X was the time taken by A. Okay, the thing here is it says that A takes some time more than 3 minutes, so it cannot be 2. So it has to be 4. A alone takes 4 minutes, so B and C together take 4 minutes as well. Anyhow, that is not of our concern. What is of our concern is that A takes 4 minutes to complete 20 pieces. So if he's taking 4 minutes to complete 20 pieces, for 160 pieces, he will take 8 times more, like because the rate is 20 over 4 piece per minute. And we basically have to divide the rate. We have to divide the number of work, which is 160. So 160 by its rate. This is the work done and the rate, which is 5. So this would come as 32. So 32 minutes is the time that we would take collectively. Anyone who has not understood this? Okay. Next, we have machine A and B are used to manufacture 660 SP rockets. It takes machine A 10 hours longer to produce 660 rockets than machine B. Machine B produces 10% more SP rockets per hour than machine A. How many SP rockets per hour does machine A produce? Anyone who has solved the questions? Anyone who wants, like, who can explain this?
Sir, is the answer 6.6?
How many rockets? 6.6 is, I think, is for.
Sir, I think it's 6.
Yeah, I think 6.6 is for B.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who would anyone like to explain? Okay. Same concept that we used for the 240 miles and the reconnaissance mission question. Question this 29. Same concept would be used here as well. Machine A and B. It says that they manufacture 660 rockets both. Okay. Machine A takes 10 hours longer to produce 660 rockets than machine B. So time is, if let's say takes 10 hours longer, if let's say for A we have taken X, so for time B it will be X minus 10 because A is working faster than B. Okay, so this is verb, this is verb. The rate will become 660 over X, rate of A, and rate of work for B will become 660 over X minus 10. Now this obviously would be greater than A because the denominator is smaller, the numerators are equal. That is why rate of B would be bigger. Now it says that machine B produces 10% more rockets per hour. So basically than machine A. So if we add 10 more percent of this, like if we increase this particular rate by 10%, it would be equal to this. So what we can do is we can basically just multiply 660 over X into, we multiply it by 11 by 10, and this would be equal to 660 X minus 10. Now the thing is, since these two terms are in multiplication, we can cancel out these two here. This becomes 11 over 10x, which is equal to 1 over x minus 10. So 11x minus 110 equals to 10, cross multiplication, and wait a second. Yeah, 11x equals to 120, or x equals to, no, I think there has been a problem. We this is the rate. Machine B produces 10% more rockets per hour than machine A. How many SP rockets does machine B produce? 10% more. Takes 10 hours longer. Taking 10 hours less. So 11 to 11, 10%. So there is supposed to be x also here. So x becomes 110 hours. So if it is 110, this would be 6, and this will become 6.6. So the rate of, because the number of hours here would become 100. So the rate of A is 6 rockets per hour, 6 SP rockets per hour, and rate of B is 6.6 SP rockets per hour. Next question, we'll stop here. You all have the link for the review questions. The homework for next turn would be to complete these questions, okay, until like all questions until the 54. Okay.
Please
And
resend the link.
sorry,
Could you please resend the link?
I didn't understand.
So could you please resend the link?
Oh, resend the link? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Um, $260. Sorry. This is $252. I have sent the link on the group so that all of you can access it easily. Because the rate is increasing, I mean, the question said, here the question said that, I mean, we took out, wait a second, where is the question? This is the question. So rate of A was 660 by X, and rate of B was 660 by X minus 10. Okay, this is the rate of B. It says that machine B produces 10% more rockets per hour. Per hour, that means per, like, that is the rate than B. So if we add like machine B, this is 10% more than this value. Okay, 10% extra basically of this value. So to take out 10% more of this, what we can do is like we can add 10% of this. So 10% of this would be multiplying it by 10 over 100, or basically 1 over 10, right? So if you take out these two common here, this becomes 660 over X multiplied by 1 plus 1 by 10, which is 660 over X multiplied by 11 over 10. Does that make sense now? You're welcome. So this again, this goes back to percentages. Revise that particular list again. Okay. Anyway, is there any problem here now? Like, who has not understood one particular question? We'll discuss these questions 50 until 54 tomorrow. These are the questions for like homework, and tomorrow we'll also start with a geometry review. Okay. I'm also this is a reminder also for your C1 test. You will have your C1 test on Monday, right? That was the schedule given to you. Oh no, it is Sunday from 12 noon to 10 p.m. Okay, and the test link will be shared like on Sunday only. So please make sure that you, like, after your verbal class, I think the portion for C1 test is arithmetic portion that we have covered. Now, once your algebra section gets covered, like which will be tomorrow, your algebra section is over. This is only the review questions which are left. So after that, you will also have your algebra module test, which is C2, probably next week. And tomorrow we'll start with geometry, which will be completed until next week. So same thing, week-wise, you'll have C1, C2, C3, and C4. Anyone who has any problem, is there any question that is there to ask?
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, for rate problems.
Sorry?
Sir, work and rate problems.
8 problems?
No, sir. Rate and work problems.
Rate and work problems. Was
Yes.
still left to discuss?
No, sir. Like I was asking that I take a long time to frame the equations.
Right.
So like, really, like I understand the questions, but like it takes a lot of time for me to like just look the quick equations and solve. So like, is there like way to approach faster way?
Okay, way to approach algebraic questions basically.
So like in particular word problems,
In particularly word problems. Okay. Give me until tomorrow's time. We'll discuss this in the session tomorrow. Does that work?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, then that is it for today. Your work would be to like watch all the videos that we've covered today in your Magoosh portal as well. Please make sure that you're actually watching the videos in your Magoosh portal efficiently and regularly, because if you keep on filing it for the last minute, it will become too tiresome. Okay, and also you will skip a lot of things which are covered in class and which will make it more easier for you to understand whatever is being taught in the class. So for like, as we are like we've already completed, I already sent the message for arithmetic section. For your algebra section, you have your here all the videos under algebra, equations and inequalities. Then you also have word problems. Venkatesh, if you want, or anyone, it's not particularly directed to Venkatesh. Like if you are facing problems in word problems, you can obviously watch these videos. I will, however, also discuss how to approach word problems tomorrow. Okay. So this is something like you can watch videos. I think until here. Work questions. Okay, and then apart from that, right, then there is only geometry section, which we'll discuss when we have watched, when we have done geometry section. Anyone else who has any other question? Okay, then thank you so much. We'll meet tomorrow, same time, 6:30 to 8:30. You're welcome, Vishal.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Yes, Akash.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, yes, Ashwin.
It's just a follow-up, what yes asked. So I'm just missing out the approach for this word problems, framing the equation. So I'm just watching the videos on Magoosh portal.
Yeah, for the thing is, usually, like even tomorrow, what I was going to discuss would have been first to watch the Magoosh videos.
Okay.
Because sometimes what I mean, that is also there, but also like how to break down, there will be certain words and mnemonics that we can use. So that is also there that I'll discuss. But yeah, like for now, if you are able to understand with watching the videos, very good. Otherwise, I'll let you discuss tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah.